Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. In this video, as you can see, there's a lot of stuff in front of me. I want to highlight a new designer slash company rather than focus on simply one of their offerings. So we're going to take a look at Vero Engineering. Joseph Vero is the man behind the company. A few different models here in front of us. This is not the whole lineup, but I did end up buying the Mini Impulse here. And then Joseph sent along the Axon and the Synapse XL, and then a full-size Fulcrum and a Mini Fulcrum. There's a regular size Synapse. They have Hanks. They have EDC trays. They've got a lot of stuff going on, but let's quickly just talk about the background. So Vero Engineering. So I met Joseph at Blade Show 2019. I had seen his Instagram profile. I had seen renderings of the full-size Impulse, which was his first model prior to Blade Show, but I did get to briefly meet him and briefly handle the prototype at that show. Now, again, that's coming up on 2 years, and since then, he and his wife have both gone full-time on the company in November of 2020. Prior to this, Joseph was a design engineer working on technology for law enforcement, drones, communication systems, things like that. So anyways, they've been immensely popular. The pre-orders all seem to sell out. When he does have drops, those seem to sell out as well. So just been a very, very successful company. And so really the big question is why? Why is there so much hype? And that's really what I wanted to find out, hence purchasing the Mini Impulse here. So I want to talk about basically what I think are my 3 reasons of why this company has so much hype associated with it, and just kind of my overall thoughts here. So when I talked to Joseph about it and I said, hey, why do you think your company is so successful? Why do you think there's so much excitement? And his response was 2 things. He said, I make functional designs that are aesthetically pleasing. And, looking at the lineup here, I would agree with those 2 things. They are functional designs. They're aesthetically pleasing. But beyond that, there are a few things that I think make the company really successful. The first of which here we're going to take a look at is actually the kind of the minimalist flipper tab here. There have been a few other companies and designers who have attempted to do this type of flipper tab before, but this is definitely the most successful of them. As you can see, it basically fits into the overall design, doesn't protrude at all, but works very, very well. So again, we've got the Mini Impulse. This model here, the Axon, it doesn't actually have that flipper tab. It does have a slight protrusion though on the front, makes it a nice front flipper. So anyways, and then the Synapse XL here obviously has the minimal flipper tab as well. Works very, very well. So that's one thing that makes his designs, I think, beyond just aesthetically pleasing and functional. I think that's something that has really helped propel his brand in a big way, is this minimalist flipper tab, how well it's executed. The second thing that I think has made the company so successful, generated the hype, is definitely the cutout that he puts into, his knives here on the specifically on the locking side, and that gives it a great utility here, so that you can do your middle finger flick really easily. And again, it just makes it kind of a simple, novel, easy way to open up the knife. Also gives it a great fidget factor. So, again, we've got a small flipper tab. We've got these cutouts here on the blade for the middle finger flick that make it just really enjoyable to kick out, really easy to use. So that's the second thing. The last thing that I think makes his company really successful is just the amount of, the incredible amount of interaction on social media. Joseph is constantly doing live stream and answering questions, and he just has a really high touch with his customers right now, and he's very accessible. You can definitely see him take feedback and try to implement it very, very quickly. The manufacturer that they're utilizing is actually Best Tech, and it just seems like Best Tech is able to to churn out, runs quickly. Now, granted, there's a ton of work behind the scenes, so don't let that fool you. But Best Tech, they're pumping out a ton of models and a ton of designs for Vero Engineering. Let me show you a couple cool things. So the knives ship with a pouch, and it actually comes with a patch of the specific model. So here's the one for the Mini Impulse. Here's the one for the Synapse XL. Here's the one for the Axon. So just a really cool touch. Certainly not necessary, but awesome. Every knife comes with a certificate of authenticity that is clearly filled out by hand, I would presume by his wife. That handwriting is way too neat. And obviously that means that every knife is inspected, before being sent out, since they do have to create that card. So again, I think those are really the main reasons why there's so much hype. Flipper tab, middle finger cut out here on the blade, high interaction, functional, clean designs. As far as Best Tech manufacturing, they're actually pretty good. So my version here, the Mini Impulse, action is pretty good. It doesn't quite have the, kind of that clean break like you would find on a Riot produced knife or where they do OEM work, but it's good. I'd say the action is pretty good. It's good, but it's not great. What's interesting though is here on the Synapse XL, the action is actually quite a bit better. It's a little more snappy, a little more drop shut. So it's kind of hard to say. I think the Axon here as well also actually has an outstanding action. There's a little bit, I don't want to say inconsistency, but every model here, the action feels slightly different. It doesn't feel kind of uniform across the lineup. So again, you can also do a kind of a front finger flip on the Axon here. Lock bar is a little bit difficult to get to overall, but it's a well executed model. It's a really nice Warncliffe. So there's that. His pocket tool here is the Fulcrum, and it's a combination of, obviously a flat head potentially if you got a really big screw. You do have a pry bar, it's got a pocket clip, and then you have some bits here that are held in by O-rings, and you just drop them into the top here. And they are, there is a magnet embedded in here which helps keep it, so, drop the bits into the top. And the cool thing is he actually sends several bits, and I believe these are all WeHa bits, so these are really high quality bits, but you can basically go through and find the ones that are most useful to you, again, be it ones to service the knife that you carry, or potentially, depending on your type of work, if you're commonly needing Phillips and flatheads, perhaps those are the best options, but also the same thing with the Mini Fulcrum here. So O-rings, magnet embedded, mini pry bar. But yeah, he and his wife, or him, whoever wants to take credit, has gone through and created an entire product line, again, in a very, very short period of time. So great job to Joseph, great job to his wife, being able to go out, develop a brand, and create such tremendous demand in such a short amount of time. So, certainly wish them continued success. I really do enjoy the Mini Impulse here. Visually, one thing that I just really like is just the visual balance on this model. It just, if you were to cut it in half, it looks like the two sides are essentially inverted, so just great visual presence. I hope that he'll continue to kind of refine the Impulse here, design overall, and I think the Mini is just a perfect size, so it's one that I've been enjoying, and I look forward to Best Tech continuing to kind of refine the the overall action and feel on some of their models here. So, but again, this Synapse XL, just an absolute beast and incredible action. This one honestly is not broken in at all. I've got it here on loan, and I've been trying not to touch it as much as possible because that natural canvas micarta, starts to pick up oils from your hands and discolor pretty quick. So this is likely going to be sold to someone else. I don't want my hand grease all over that nice canvas micarta. All right, we'll go ahead and leave it there. Comments, questions, let me know, or better yet, just direct them to Joseph. Very responsive on his Instagram with his clients, I'm sure through emails as well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed taking a look at this video. Hopefully it helped kind of answer, again, your question as far as why the hype with this brand. You're welcome to agree or disagree. So yeah, follow me on Instagram for daily content. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.